Interference is when two or more electromagnetic waveforms collide, and that causes it to reinforce or cancel out due to whether it is either constructive or destructive. And later on we will get onto what each of those actually mean.
There are two types of interference, and the first kind is constructive interference. And I'll be using sound waves to explain this concept. So here you can see we have two different sound waves moving across the medium. And for two waves to interfere constructively, their displacement has to be in the same direction. And in this case, both waves have displacement upwards. So when they meet, let's say right here in the middle, they'll interfere constructively, and the resulting wave will be a larger wave with upward displacement. So if you were listening to music and some waves were to constructively interfere, the music would sound louder to the human ear.
Go.
Okay, the second type of interference I'll be talking about is destructive interference. And again, I'll be using sound waves to explain this concept. So here you can see we have two sound waves again moving across the medium, but their displacement is in different directions. This wave has displacement upward, and this one has displacement downward. So when these two waves meet in the middle, they are going to interfere destructively. And since these two are about the same strength, they'll basically cancel out. So if you're listening to music, it'll either be really quiet, or you won't hear anything at all. But if, let's say, wave 2 had a greater displacement in the downward direction, then it wouldn't completely cancel out this sound wave. When these two waves meet and they have displacements in different directions and they interfere destructively, if you're listening to music, you won't hear anything. But once these two waves continue moving on, you'll hear the music again. Because these two waves, they interfere, they don't destroy each other. So only for a point in time will these waves cancel each other out. So once these waves are back moving in opposite directions, you'll be able to hear things at the same strength as what you had originally played them at, as compared to when they were interfering, it was quieter.
In the first experiment, we will show you destructive interference by dropping two objects in the water, and as they splash, the waveforms of the water start moving towards different directions, and once they finally meet, they cancel out because since they're going in different directions, it just turns out flatlined, and that's why the splashes only last a couple of seconds. In our second demonstration, we will show you a YouTube video that our YouTube user had made, but it was a great example of constructive interference. And what he did is that he had a speaker on one side and a speaker on the other. And he had a meter stick in the middle so you can tell where the distance is from the two speakers. He had a skateboard and a camera on top, and as he moved it side to side, you can tell by hearing it that as he got closer to one speaker specifically, you could hear it a little bit lower, but once he got towards the middle, it got really loud. And that was because as the two speakers in front of you, their wavelengths started like moving towards you, but they start colliding. And as they collide, since they're the same wavelength, going in the same direction, the amplitude gets bigger, and that's why the music gets louder. Or as in this case, the sound gets louder.